Hey guys, today we're going to be picking radishes because these things are ready to harvest. Probably a little past time to harvest. These things are huge. You see it in there? So I'm going to grab this thing and pull it on up. Oh my gosh, that thing's
Watermelon
huge.
radish. Rabbits are going to love that one.
Yeah, we'll probably feed that one to the rabbits. Oh my gosh, look at that.
I think there's some more deep in here. You can get to them.
Yeah.
I like to plant radishes in between stuff
Oh,
in
that's
my
a 2-for-1.
Yeah, in my herb bed because I feel like it's a waste of space when there's a bunch of like empty spots. So I grow radishes for our rabbits in here. We don't really eat them. We need some good recipes, so share some recipes in the comments if you have any.
And they grow super fast. It's like, what is it, like 30 days?
Yeah.
I think they're harvesting, you can harvest them in 30 days. So.
Yeah, these are just over 30 days. Just barely.
A little small. I'll probably go another week or so.
I see some radish leaves back in there.
Nah.
Not ready yet?
Uh-uh.
So if I am gonna eat them, I like them to be about that size. But we're gonna leave these in because we like to feed them to the rabbits, so we want them to get more foliage on them because that's what the rabbits like.
We can go on a little tour. Just a small tour.
Do a small tour.
Just show
Oh, it's so messy though.
Let's just show the peas right here.
I'll show the peas. So here's another bed. Look at my nasturtiums. They're insane. But these are my peas. They're over 3 feet tall right now, and they just started flowering. These are purple whole peas, and the leaves are huge. I've never had peas get this big before, and they're still getting taller. You could tell when they're still growing taller because they'll have the crinkly leaves at the top, and they'll keep getting those.
But look at these stalks. It's like
Yeah.
half of my finger. See?
Yeah, they're
Thick.
but we love peas, so this will be a good one. I've got eggplant in here too, some chives that are going to seed right now, which I'm pretty happy about because I want a lot of chives in here. And then we've got lettuce. I probably pick from this lettuce in here every day. Again, I do the same thing with my lettuce that I do with the radishes. I like to fill in all the voids in my bed.
But this is good because it shades it.
Yeah, because it gets really, really hot here in the summer, so I plant stuff really close together, and then I just make sure I fertilize with manure, either horse manure or rabbit manure, and so stuff gets well fed, and then it shades each other when it's in the really hot part of the summer. I did this last year because here, once it hits about 95 and higher, our tomatoes will stop producing, and they'll stop producing fruit. But I've found that when I plant them really close together with other plants and they get shaded, that they produce all summer long through the fall. So that's why I plant stuff really close together. Look at the nasturtium. Just doing so well this year.
Yeah.
I love it. Hasn't gone to flower yet, so we haven't been eating
I've
any
never had nasturtium
flowers.
It's good.
You've never what?
I've never had nasturtium do this well.
Do this well? They like that horse manure, that's for sure. Over here is my other bed. Again, everything is crowded in. I've got a bunch of flowers coming up in the middle. That's what all these huge sprouts are. There's zinnias and cosmos, and there's a bunch of other things in there. Alyssum, all kinds of stuff. And poppies even. But I do this because I have a ton of tomatillos on the perimeter and a bunch of beans and peppers. And so I plant a lot of flowers in the middle of the bed because I want pollinators to come in and pollinate all my stuff. So yeah, we've got strawberries in here too even.
It's kind of like a permaculture type.
So yeah, there's a tomatillo there, a bunch back there, a bunch of purple beans. I've even got edamame here, a bunch of pepper plants. Here's a few pepper plants there. And then this is a ball zucchini. Or actually, I think that's a regular standard zucchini. This one is the ball zucchini. And I've even got black-eyed Susan, climbing black-eyed Susan here. Another flower that bees really love. But this tomatillo plant is huge. I just started tucking the branches in again. And it's going to way outgrow this extra large tomato cage. I don't know what I'm going to do when it's way taller.
But look, we got that bracing on the inside too.
Oh yeah, I made
because these things are kind of weak.
so I make these little sort of a, what would you call it?
It's like
A cage out of
type.
fencing. It's the same thing that I do over here. So when these ones grow out of those, I'll put a tomato cage in there, or maybe. But it just adds a little extra support in the center.
In Texas, we got crazy winds.
Yeah, we
So
do.
like, we don't have any wind breaks over here. So it wants to just knock these plants
And
over.
it's windy right now, even a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a bunch of stuff in this bed. A lot of flowers, a lot of my favorite things. We like to grow a lot of nightshades. So there's a lot of nightshades in here. Yeah, and then I've got potatoes over there. This is my friend's garden bed that I've been doing with her because she didn't have space at her house to have a garden. So I had her come over here and do a garden bed over here. So I've been showing her what I know for the most part. But we just planted this last week. And believe it or not, these zucchinis were smaller than that size there. Like half of that size. And that's how big they've gotten in less than a week. Pretty cool. They love that horse manure, I'm telling you. Got my dogwoods over here. I've got a bunch of garlic growing along the fence line there. It's almost ready to harvest. And that's garlic from last year that came back that I pulled up from our old property. A bunch of dogwoods.
Let's go show them the little chicks.
You want to show them the chicks? Okay,
Yeah, the
let's
new
go.
chicks that just hatched. All right, so today we had about 5 baby chicks hatch.
10.
Was it 10?
It's 10.
Oh, 5 this morning and 5 in the
We had
afternoon?
5 yesterday, 10 today.
Okay, so let's go ahead and check them out. We keep them in here as a little brooder area. So we got a bunch of
Oh, you
Americanas,
closed it off from the mama.
Americanas, Black Beauties, mixes, a lot of Easter eggers. Yeah, these range from a week old, 3 days old to newborn. These are just out of the incubator. You can see how their feathers are still a little bit. I mean, they're not wet, but they're not as fluffy as the other
They
ones.
haven't preened yet.
Yeah.
And this is their foster mom, Wistry. She takes care of all of our chicks that we hatch in the incubator. She takes them in as her own. She's already brought some down in here.
We like the silkies. The silkies tend to be really good moms. They take care of them really well. They
Yeah.
also hatch them out really good too.
Yeah, so she hatched out her own clutch, and then we give her a bunch also. And she's not a show quality silkie. She's a pet quality. She's a really poor quality silkie, but we just love her. We rescued her, so she takes care of them for us.
Can I take you to a moment where the fields are painted gold
Like Mama Bear, pretty bad. Watch.
and the trees feel
I'm trying to get these chicks back up on the
the feelings never told.
They're crawling there.
Evening pulls the sun down and the day is almost through.
All right, thanks for hanging out with us today and checking out our garden and the new chicks. And hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video. Uploading almost daily.
Be close to you.
Were you nursing a chick?
You can do a head nod?